Sometimes in the film industry, producers will rush films out into the theaters in order to satisfy the market or compete against another film. And is that a good idea? No, because otherwise it's going to give you epic failures like this one. This is Rocketship X-M, one of the earliest science fiction movies to come out during the 1950s, coming out straightly in the year 1950. This movie was rushed out in production before Destination Moon could come out, a more expensive and way better film about a crew expedition wanting to go to the moon. This film actually won an Academy Award for Best Special Effects. So, this black and white sci-fi is about a group of scientists that build a rocket ship in order to go to the moon. If you know your history a bit, this came out way before man actually really landed on the moon, so it must have been a pretty big deal. It must have made for a pretty good story. But technical problems occur, and this makes them fly to Mars instead, where they encounter survivors of a Martian nuclear holocaust, which has forced them to live like cavemen again. Okay, so this sounds like a pretty classic B-movie premise, but it could be fun, honestly. So is this movie fun? No. Oh no. It's literally the whole contrary. Rocketship X-M can be found in the dictionary when it comes to the definition of boredom. It may as well be that. The pacing is abominable. It's the worst aspect of this movie. Most of the film takes place inside the titular rocket ship, but nothing special happens. Sometimes, the characters will be talking about scientific matters, which no one else in the theater could have understood, apart if you were maybe some astrophysicist by any chance. It's like you're watching characters just stand still, and sometimes go from one part of the ship to another, which is pretty small by the way. Oh, and also, the whole crew is also dressed up with casual everyday clothing that you would wear down on Earth, even though they're hurtling through space in a rocket ship. It doesn't make any sense. Whoever wrote this movie must have mistook his script with the toilet paper that he used to wipe himself. So finally, the film lets you see the characters arrive on Mars by some miracle, but it honestly looks bad. Mars looks a bit like some sort of yogurt land. Isn't Mars supposed to be red? Why is the ground looking so light? When I heard that the crew would find some sort of alien race of mutant survivors of a nuclear holocaust, I was expecting for some sort of rad-looking monsters. But no, you barely see them. This is even worse than an Attack of the Giant Leeches. You never see what they actually fully look like up close. You just have their backs turned all the time. Or you just see them running far away like a bunch of idiots. They basically look like outer space prehistoric cavemen. But really nothing special about them. It's very disappointing. So the team just screws off like a bunch of pansies after half a day on Mars to head back to Earth. And there you go. What the hell was that? I was expecting more of a fight from the crew, and from men that think that they were such a big shot with the only female character of the crew. The film offers absolutely no thrills. It's a painful experience of a catastrophe to get through. This pick is actually a joke. I've seen films with barely any special effects, but yet still manage to be good and engaging. But here, the movie just falls flat on its face. I would have really wished that this film stayed stranded on Mars and never came back to Earth, and saved the pain of so many moviegoers. By the way, there's this really awkward scene at the end of the movie where the main character, played by Lloyd Bridges, the father of Jeff Bridges, starts flirting with the only woman on board. And this is after 2 members of the ship have been killed, a third wounded due to an attack by prehistoric aliens, and they don't have enough fuel to get back to Earth. This is just abysmal. I don't even know what to say about this. So overall, Rocketship X-M is a failure. This will only manage to make you fall asleep at night if you're an insomniac. Other than that, it's horrible, it's boring, and shouldn't be approached by lovers of 1950s science fiction, because this will almost heavily really tarnish the reputation of this golden era, and make you pull out your own hair. This is all I have to say about this movie. If you enjoyed this review, don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe to get notified for more reviews of bad movies coming up really soon.